your best in front of everyone. But the only tip you need to keep in mind is that the audience does not want you to fail. The audience does not want to see a lousy speech. They want to see someone who could give their best, and that the audience is always there to support you. And more on that will be in our workshop that we'll announce later. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that at the beginning. So there was this farmer who had 4 pups to sell. And the moment he finished painting the sign that said puppies for sale, he went out of his yard onto the wooden fence and he was nailing, you know, that post on the fence. And while he was hitting the 4th nail, he felt something tug his overalls. And so he looked down and he was surprised to see this cute little 4-year-old looking at him with big eyes straight in the eye. He's like, "Mister, I want to buy one of your puppies." So the farmer, wiping the sweat off the back of his neck, said, "Oh my God, son, these pups cost a good deal of money. I mean, they come from very fine parents." And so it was so cute, and he started making effort to count the pennies he had in his pockets and managed to count 39 cents. And he was like, "I have 39 cents. Is that enough to take a look?" And the farmer, looking at that guy finding his overalls, couldn't say no. So he whistled, "Here, Dolly." And so Dolly came running, wiki wiki, down the ramp, and towards the fence where the farmer was standing and posting that sign. And behind Dolly came 4 balls of fur, running and struggling hard to keep up with her. At that time, the boy was looking with wide eyes and pressing his face against the fence, and his eyes were dancing with delight. But the boy also noticed something really special. He noticed that there was a 5th ball of fur, noticeably smaller, struggling to get out of the doghouse. Once it got to the ramp, it did not run over it. It slid and was hobbling to keep pace with Dolly and her 4 pups. And the boy looked at it and said, "I want that one." The farmer looked at that kid, who apparently seemed not knowing what he wanted. And he bent down to his level and told him, "Son, I'm not sure you're going to be able to run and play with that pup like you would with those pups." But the son had something else in mind. The kid had something else in mind. He backed off. And he lifted the left leg of his trouser and showed the farmer 2 steel braces connected to a specially made shoe. And he told the farmer, "You see, sir, I can't run myself either that well. And that pup wants someone who understands." The farmer was moved by what just happened, by that little kid telling these words of wisdom. So he bent down and picked up that 5th pup that could barely walk and handed it over to the kid, free of charge. How often do we do that? How often do we as people look for people, for circumstances, for environments that could just understand us as individuals, that could just accept us? And those moments are so rare, and we could barely find them, and are really limited. Come think about it. I can think of my parents. I can remember myself as a kid. "Mom, I cannot sleep. I had a nightmare." And despite the weakness I'm asking for, my mom will tell me, "It's okay. I'm going to sleep next to you. And if you have a nightmare again, wake me up and I'll fight it." And I feel safe, but most importantly, I feel special. Because she understands. And eventually we start meeting peers in university and in life who could also accept us for what we have, for what we have to offer, simple stuff, for who we are as people. And then we find ourselves in these environments where we can give. And just by giving, we feel we're doing something worthy, and it's so fulfilling because we can actually contribute, and it's filling us up. Right? But then what happens? Change. And change is normal in our lives. And so we then find ourselves in lives without those people that once were there for us, who accepted us. And we find ourselves without those environments where we can offer the best we have. And so we stare at the world and look at the world in the eye and tell the world, "I know what you're up to. You're testing me, aren't you? I'm sure that it's just a phase I'm passing through. I'll soon be back to those who love me and those who make me feel special. I'll soon be back to those environments where I feel I can give my best." But the world stares us back in the eye and doesn't say anything. And so we keep doing what we're doing and still struggling, hoping that we are going to get back to where we were. But the reality is we are not. People who pass away are not going to come from the dead. And we can't get back in time to those circumstances where we feel like we can give the best we can. I'm not saying what we can offer does not apply anymore. It's just so we start to accept that fact. The fact that it's getting colder. The fact that we can't give what we have. The fact that we feel less valuable. And finally we lose hope, and suddenly we realize that there's something called gravity, and our face drops down to the ground. And we're walking down, our face to the ground, and we begin having these weird thoughts. I'm not worth anything. And I'm hopeless, and no one cares about me. What should I do? Where should I go? And then the only place you can think of is home, because it's the only place that can take you in. At least this is what you expect. And you feel so hopeless and so sad. And again, your head is looking at the floor, and you're walking back home. And just a few seconds before getting to your building, you happen to notice something that's staring you right in the eye. You think it's money, and you bend over, and wow, it is a $20 bill. You look left, you look right, you look behind you, in front of you, you can't trace it. You look up, that's the world giving you money. You're happy. Of course you take the money. Who'd take the money? Say I. Say I if you take the money. Aye. Okay. Of course you take the money. Now let's imagine this scenario. Same setting, same environment. But this time, that $20 bill is not green, it's not crisp and fresh as you saw it at the first time, but it's now crumbled. And is on the ground. And so you're back to that position, feeling that horrible feeling that you're not worth a lot, that you can't give, and you're walking with your head towards the floor. And again, you notice that $20 bill. It's crumbled, but you notice it's money. And so you look left, you look right, in front of you, behind you, you can't trace where it came from, then you look up. Who'd take the money and go buy something nice for himself? Say I. Say I. Okay. Of course you take the money. Of course you take the money. Now let's say that same $20 bill not only crumbled, but found to the ground and has footprints on it. It's not clean and crisp and fresh as it was before, and it's folded. It's one side folded. And you're passing through the same mood, same state of feeling, same state of mind, and you're walking with your head towards the ground. And you see that paper. You can't identify it, but you can't happen to notice that it looks like money. And you're curious. So you pick it up and you see that dirty piece of money that is crumbled. And you look left, you look right, behind you, in front of you, and you look up. Is that the world trying to reward me for all I've been through? Who'd buy something nice? Who'd take that $20 bill? Say I. Aye. Well, my friends, we have learned a very valuable lesson here. No matter what I did to the $20 bill, you still wanted it. Why? Because it did not decrease in value. Many times in our lives, we are crumbled, we are crushed, we are pounded to the ground, either because of the decisions we make, and yes, we make very bad decisions sometimes, or by the circumstances that come in our way. But the reality is that our value does not change. In fact, it never changes. It never leaves us. So whether we're dirty, whether we're clean, whether we're crumbled or finely creased, we remain priceless. So the next time you put all of your effort into something that means so much to you and the circumstances turn out not to be in your favor, does that mean that you are worth less? Yes or no? No. Of course not. Of course not. And the next time, those people that cared about you so long cannot be around you simply because they can't tell you how special you are. They're too far away. They're out of reach. Does that make you less worthy? Yes or no? Of course not. And the next time some jerk walks across you and makes you feel like you're worthless, does that even come close to make you of less value? Yes or no? Of course not. See, the worth of our lives come not in what we can give and in who we know, but in what we are. We are special. We are different. We are all equal. But we are special. You are special to me. And you are special, Philip. And you are special to me. And Sarah. And Sam. And Wissam. And Fat. You're really special. So the next time circumstances or the world in general stares you in the face and makes you feel that terrible feeling of being cold and lonely and worthless, just remember how much you're worth. that would change everything. Thank you very much.